hours about petty issues, misinterpretations, slander.
All this junk data, preserved in an unfiltered state, growing at an alarming rate.
It will only slow down social progress, reduce the rate of evolution.
Right? You seem to think that our plan is one of censorship.
Are you telling me it's not?
You're being silly. What we propose to do is not to control content, but to create context.
Vaush released an hour-and-a-half long video addressing everything Ethan and Hila dredged up about him. And it was a lot of stuff. So let's get right into it. Starting, I think, with this.
Can someone give me a rundown on Vaush? I don't know much about him, but lately I've been seeing several prominent lefties support him, while smaller lefties are accusing him of sexual abuse. What's the deal? Here's the girl Poppy that was the victim. After I blocked him for trying to groom me, when I was going through a traumatic experience as an autistic young person, he told me he wanted to prolapse my anus and R-word me for months on end. Did not stop until mods got involved, and he never apologized. Jesus. This comes from Vaush himself, talking about Poppy when this whole thing was going on. And I encourage you guys all again to read the logs. He says, should I at Poppy and DGG and tell her I'm onto her shit? This person said, no, what the fuck? Person says, what does that do for you? Might scare her into shutting up.
This one is easily top 3 in things you've got to address from H3. Sexual impropriety with another person, and logs of Vaush expressing his intent to intimidate that person into silence. A strategy that, now that he's much more popular than he was then, would be easier to pull off. Insanely, and undeniably, I think, creepy. So it's a good thing Vaush clears up the matter in his context video by not mentioning it at all. What's curious is that following H3's first stream, but prior to the H3 stream where Poppy gets brought up, Vaush does talk about it. In his after-party stream for the first H3 stream, it comes up. Vaush talks about how he'd like to believe if he really believes he's done something wrong, he'd address it honestly and use it as an opportunity for group learning. To which someone says,
you did with Poppy, which I have great respect for? No, I didn't. Not at first, at least. It took me a while. Eventually, I was honest about that, but I was so terrified early on of just like public scrutiny and of being attacked publicly. At first, I was so afraid that I was like, I ran from it to an extent. I think that eventually I was pretty straightforward about it, but it took me a while, and since then I've tried to not do that. What? Who's Poppy? See, that's what being open gets you. Before I even had a channel, there was a girl on Discord I was creepy to, like harassing her. I was not intended at the time, like I didn't think I was harassing her, but I was being pretty weird to her, okay? Anyway, it ended up blowing up into a big thing immediately after I started streaming. It was the first real drama of the channel. And at first, I was really afraid of like, guys, respectfully, you have no idea how it feels to know that 10, 100, 1,000, 100,000 millions of people are like smearing you.
So we know it was hot and fresh in his mind. And his context video, his lowly festo, dropped days after H3 did bring up the Poppy stuff. Why on earth would he not address it in his bumper video going over all the things that have been addressed in the past but have been dredged up again by H3? Because, you see, that would be too much context. The wrong context. Speaking of the wrong context, I'm sure most of you are aware, but for those who aren't, the reason all this Vaush stuff has been dredged up is because he leaked the fact that he had downloaded some loli, some drawn pornographic material depicting children. That's why there was an H3H3 stream. Vaush's video addressing all that has happened recently is an hour and 40 minutes long. The first mention of his leak is an hour and 8 minutes in. If someone even makes it that far into the context video, they will have ironically been viewing his explanation for things being dug up without the most important piece of context. Ladies and gentlemen, the very first line of his video is itself a deception.
So this is a video I probably should have made a long time ago.
Should have made this a long time ago. So there's nothing in it that happened, let's say, a week or so ago in this video. It's all just old stuff. What a reptilian. What a stone-cold manipulator. Like a villain in a movie. But unfortunately for Vaush, The movie he's from is a comedy. He's a Machiavellian puppet master with 2 left hands. You see, a quirk of his character is that he always says the quiet part out loud. He always blabs his intent, even when it's not particularly sinister. Check this example out.
You know, I really hope that this big live stream, the charity, the positivity, all of it, I hope that it encourages some people who are on the fence about me to be more open to working with me in the future. Working with me, I mean, you know, speaking amicably. That would be nice, I think.
My apologies for any dentist bills incurred due to your teeth curling up out of cringe, but I think it helps illustrate where I'm coming from with my viewpoint on Vaush as this cartoon Bond villain who can't help but explain in detail his master plan.
Stop fighting on my behalf. Stop arguing for me against others, especially on the subject of this video. That's one of the reasons I made this video, you know? I saw so many people in my community tirelessly arguing against the worst and most dishonest shit people say about me, and I wanted them to have something that they could point to. This video.
Oh, he made this for his audience, to protect them, to help their mental health. You don't have to be a constant warrior. Just post this video to people, and then if they don't accept it, it's done. What a nice guy. Unfortunately, a couple minutes later, he gets even more honest.
To be frank, nobody's ever been sold on a YouTuber because they saw a fan of that YouTuber passionately arguing that they're not a pedophile, right? It doesn't work. That's all people see looking in from outside this community, you know?
Vaush has had to make this video because, having selected for credulity, for gullibility in his audience, he has a group of people who will listen to him and believe him and trust him and have faith in him. But they don't know how to lie and manipulate. Because if they did, they'd recognize what's being done to them by him. If they had the ken necessary to do that, they'd tell instantly from the form of this video that something is wrong. You know, just that the most important single thing to this situation comes up more than halfway in. And so, Vaush's reward for his strategy in building himself is that he has to deal with a swarm of people who love him and will defend him at any cost, but who are too incompetent to do anything other than make him look like a megapedo to the masses. This video is his defense against them. Please stop, just link this. Oh God, please stop, just link this.
Don't let me and this space and all the people who are a part of it be defined exclusively through raging against the constant, pointless bad faith drama. You know, don't let that be what this is.
Yeah, instead, let me be the guy known for sending out my thousands of drones to spread my pedo festo to the masses, in which I explain that's what I'm doing, and this is a cynical strategy to get people to like me despite being a fucking weirdo creep. Folks, the meat of the video ain't better. Pretty awful defense of himself on the individual points, but I thought it was important to put out a little video pinpointing the issues of things such as omissions, critiquing the form of the video, the order of what's presented, and his bare-faced intent that's right at the end and people might miss. I'll link the stream VOD right below the video in the description if you want to see me watch the whole thing. It's pretty fun. It's an hour and 40 minutes of some nerd arguing why, intellectually in good faith, you can't really think he's a weirdo. The existence of such a video, this situation is, on its face, immensely hilarious to me. So until next time, I'm trying to put out as many fun videos as I can. Until next time, don't let Vaush babysit your kids. But, as usual, that's just another one of my harmful opinions.